I believe that one more suicide is one too many.
The first thing that comes to my mind when you say men's mental health, I would say is definitely stigma. It's something that's not talked about a lot. It's like a taboo subject.
Stigma not only bars men from speaking about mental illness, but also from addressing it themselves or seeking help.
I feel that your personal problems should stay to yourself, and then you should other people should only see you when you're doing good, not bad.
There's always been this idea around men as they should be the breadwinners, these characteristics that traditional men has to man up, be fearless, strong, provide for the family. But I think it's something that has to change. Unfortunately, mental health is an issue, and it's an issue as much as it is for women as it is for men. That's why I believe that the stigma surrounding mental health in men, this is something that we should do about it. We need to raise more awareness about this issue. Because there are a lot of people that suffer about it. There are a lot of men that suffer from mental health issues, things as anxiety, stress, depression. These are things that happen.
A society's culture has various aspects of mental health as it influences personal beliefs, norms, and values.
A lot of cultures kind of have a negative stigma or negative thought towards mental health. And it's kind of like, let's suppress this. And that really does stick with individuals, through their life. So when they become older and things really do start bothering them and things start manifesting and coming up, then they don't really know how to express it. So it can be culture, it can be they're surrounded by other men. And again, if everyone is kind of thinking the same thing to where it's just like we suppress our feelings, we don't talk about it, men don't cry, men don't, talk about their emotions, like that also plays a huge role into that.
As well as culture, expectations and standards have a huge impact.
Some of the triggers are kind of like external, things where they can't necessarily fulfill the way that they feel like they should, whether it's at home as a man of the household, career-wise, they may have some standards where they feel that they need to meet certain standards that are not achievable or haven't been able to be obtained at the moment. So there's so many different things, but what I've seen in men, it's more external, where they feel like they need to be a certain way, they present a certain way, and they need to be seen as a man, right? And there's something that's stopping them from being the person that they feel like they want to be.
Unfortunately, for example, when it comes to men, maybe they're friends, girlfriends, wives, mothers, they have those expectations that they shouldn't deal with mental health issues, which is the main reason that pushes them to close themselves off.
Regardless of what Adam and Angelica emphasize, Nicholas Adams shared his viewpoint.
It's the reputation that they have and the point of view that others see them as after that. Let's say somebody goes and talks to you about their feelings. You'll never look at them the same, because now you see them as weak.
Although not Nicholas nor Adam faced mental health issues, it was Heather Palacios, founder of One Herful, who lived these experiences up close.
I understand why it is difficult for guys to ask for help. And I think I understand that not because I am one, but because, I was raised in a home predominantly with men. I have uncles, not aunts. I have 3 brothers, no sisters. I have 2 sons, no daughters, and I'm married to a husband who's a Cuban. So I've got machismo all around me. And so living in that for the last 49 years, I understand why it's sometimes difficult for guys to reach out. But I don't want them to die. 3 months ago, my baby brother died. Sorry, it hurts. And, for the last 10 years, I've tried everything I could to help him combat the thoughts in his head and the addiction in his body. But it finally took him out. And, I had a lot of honest, transparent conversations with him. And it was just hard for him to ask for help because he didn't want to appear weak.
Despite her brother's death, Heather provided him with a space where he could be vulnerable and express what he felt.
What can I do as a professional to get you to a place where you feel safe enough, right? Because then it comes down to safety. Your feelings and your emotions haven't been safe before, right? As a kid, you were told, don't cry, don't talk about it, just brush it off. So now it is my responsibility to get to a point where you feel safe enough to where you can talk about it. Because we're coming with different cultures, with different thoughts, with different ideas of who I should be. And if I'm not able to reach that, then there's that conflict, right? So create our own values, our own desires of who we want to be as an individual, and really starting there. And it's like, am I behaving this way because that's what I think I should be doing or who I think I should be, versus this is who I actually want to be.
Adam found a safe space in his brother.
I was finding myself being anxious a lot of the times. And you know, like, as a person, I'm very sociable, and that's also something that pushed me not to open up to others, because I was like, you know, I'm seen as such this sociable person, someone that's always seen as always happy. So I didn't want to like, how am I gonna say, like, dirty this image that people had of me, you know? So at first, that's why I wanted to keep everything for myself, because I wanted people to still believe I was this joyful person that, you know, had everything going on in their life, everything was good in their life. But then ultimately, I started realizing that, you know what, you can be joyful, you can be a sociable person, you can be an extrovert. But if you're dealing with something, that doesn't mean all that personality is just gone. You know, it's still there. So I decided, you know what, I'm gonna give it a try and just go up and talk to my brother. And my brother was actually the first person that I opened up to when I was not feeling good. And when I saw how understanding he was, that really like changed something within me. I was like, you know what, that was really helpful. And he didn't even do anything crazy. You know, he's not someone that's trained to give therapy. It's just having someone that is willing to listen to you.
He found himself happy now.
I was the same with other people before and after. But the main difference is I'm happy now. And now that I see myself before I started seeking help, I was not happy. Even though I may seem happy to everyone before and after, and they might not notice the change, you have to do it for yourself. And the fact that I feel heard, it makes me feel better, and it makes me enjoy the moment when I'm like with others better, you know? So I just started to be more fulfilled as a person. I started to be grateful for all the moments that I could have the chance to live in my life.
Both Angelica and Adam spotlighted the importance of seeking help and listening to those who need it.
I think as a society, we need to learn how to get rid of all these expectations that we have on men and just be ready to accept each other, you know, be ready to talk about it. It's just as simple as this, you know, talk about stuff, make people feel welcome to talk to you about whatever they're dealing with. And if we come all together and start to really erase those expectations that we have of men, that they have to be fearless, that they have to be strong, that they can't feel weak, then that's going to solve a lot of problems when it comes to mental health issues in men.
Being out there on campus and being out in the community and talking about it, being an advocate for it, and allowing everyone to understand, not just men, because this isn't just a male issue, right? If men are being educated from when they're little that there's a stigma against mental health, that there's something wrong with them speaking about their emotions, it's not just coming from other men, right? We also have to educate those around us, right? Mothers, aunts, grandmothers, cultures of, hey, this is okay, and your child, your son, your whatever it is not broken because they have emotions.